Welcome to my media museum. My name is Will, and today is episode 2 of our 80s dance music. Technically, it should be 70s and 80s dance music. I ran into way more 70s in the first episode than I realized. I pulled these out and created this stack a couple months ago before even doing the first episode of Box 11, and we're just now getting to filming them. So, anyways, picking up where we left off, we've got the lady in red, Christy Berg. Christy Berg. I'm assuming I've got that right. I have heard it pronounced before, and I think that's correct. 1986, so at least we are definitely hitting you with the 80s there. And it is marked as the A side, which you know Lady in Red was a big song, so it wouldn't be hard to figure out what was the A or B side there. But the B side here might be something special, being that it's Fatal Hesitation Remix. And it says original version appears on the A&N album Into the Night. So you notice we've got the barcode there. Those popped up in the early 80s for some of the distributors, but by the time you got into the late 80s, most of your 45s will have a barcode on them. Not all, but most. Clearly marked as the B-side, but like I said, we knew this was a B-side, but this might be a special case where it's just really special B-side. And we've got us an original price tag here, Lady in Red, $2.99. Now I'm not sure what store that's from. I remember a couple stores that used to use these kind of price tags, but trying to think, Hastings I think was one of them. We didn't have them here in the area where I live now, but we had them where I grew up. And this is a Memories. It's slightly in the background there, you'll notice. So this is a reissued copy, not an original from the time of release. Next up, we've got Lionel Richie doing My Love. And I got a note here that tells me he didn't write it on this one. That's kind of a little different. It says it hit number 4 in March of 1983. Alright, so at least we're again in the 80s still. The B-side of this particular vinyl has Round and Round on it. And this probably is an original from the time of release. It doesn't have anything on it about any reissues or anything. So yeah, I would guesstimate that this one probably is from when it came out originally. So, and I'm just not real sure. Now the Lady in Red, I could sing that one to you, but My Love, I'm not real positive about. 80s dance music really wasn't my thing. I'm a 60s psych, 70s rock, and 80s metal kind of guy who just happens to have a bunch of random 45s from random boxes that have a lot of things in them that didn't really necessarily appeal to me personally. So I'm just sharing them because I know there's a lot of people out there that are interested. I did Dance to Disco and Dance to Disco 2 videos on the channel as a test run, and they got a lot of interest. They generated quite a bit of interest. I also did 2 country and western ones because I have 200 or 300 country and western 45s that I can film and share with the channel. But that did really well too, got up quite a bit of interest as well. So I want to go ahead and document these. I do have somebody who's kind of interested in these 80s dance ones, so they probably won't be in my possession indefinitely. Neither will the country and western ones. But I want to get them filmed and shared before I part ways. So here we've got Arthur Connolly doing Sweet Soul Music, hit number 2 in April of 67. And on the B side of this one, we've got Funky Street, which hit number 14 in April of 68. So here you've got Arthur Connolly doing 2 chart toppers and 1 year apart. Clearly an oldies series, so this is another one of those issues where you've got actually 2 A-sides on a vinyl that's being re-released for whatever reason. Sometimes a song appears in a TV show or a movie, it generates some interest in it being re-released again, and other times they just re-release it. Maybe the artist has a new album coming out and they kind of did a 45 to help promote that. A couple of the labels, as we've discussed numerous times, if you go to the channel, you will find I have a quite substantial number of 45 RPM vinyl episodes on there that you can watch. And we went over a lot of the background and history and things over the course of those. And for those that have been watching the channel steady, I apologize for sounding like a broken record sometimes, but I want to put that information out there, and people that are just finding the channel or just watching one of the videos may not know some of this information that I'm trying to share. So we'll notice here we've got Mary Wells, You Beat Me to the Punch, which hit number 9 in August of 1962. So that's kind of interesting. The B-side being Mary Wells Again, and a song called Two Lovers, which hit number 7 in December of 1962. So we kind of missed the mark on the 80s theme here, but it is Motown. To me, Motown is predominantly dance music. It's just dance music from its different eras. So yeah, a little bit out of the theme of the 80s, but it's still something you can shake your booty to. Like I said, there'll be some disco. We're going to definitely run across some disco. And there may be a random country one. I've already pulled out 3 in the first 2 stacks. Because to speed filming up, I try to de-sleeve these before I turn the camera on. If you go to the channel and watch box 1, the first 5 videos that I ever filmed of 45 RPM vinyls, I de-sleeved them as I went. And it's much slower pace. So it really speeds things up and keeps that flow going when I get them out of the sleeves before turning on the camera. But yeah, while doing that for these first 2 stacks, I pulled out 3 that I'm pretty suspicious is country and western. But anyways, we've got Gallery here doing Big City Miss Ruth Ann, hitting number 23 in February of 73. So we just jumped from 62 to 73. Maybe the next one will be in 80s. B-side here, song called Lover's Hideaway. And I do like this label. I like bright colors. I like psychedelic stuff. And this artwork and this label just appeals to me. This is definitely my kind of thing. All right. So, next up, we're hoping for an 80s because we just did a 60s and a 70s. And guess what? We got us an 80s. Would I Lie to You by the Eurythmics, which hit, it's kind of hard to read there. He wrote on No Nipper there. That's the name of the dog. He was a real dog, actually existed. And if you ever see the puppy with him, the puppy's name was Chipper. It was Nipper and Chipper. The puppy I'm not so sure ever actually existed, but Nipper definitely did. But yeah, I'm having a hard time reading those notes, so I'm going to look over here. It hit number 5 in May of 85 is what that says. And I guess you can maybe make that out. Get it too close and it blurs. But the B-side of this Eurythmics 45 is Here Comes That Sinking Feeling. So if you know any extra information on any of these that you would like to share, please use the comment section, whether it be over on the side or down at the bottom. YouTube keeps changing their format around, at least on my computer. And I know this is really difficult because you get talking about 3 different formats. When you watch these videos on a phone or stream it to your TV or watch it on the computer, they're laid out differently. They've got different options. I've pointed out in the past about hitting the little square down here on your phone to blow it up to the full screen, hitting the little gear down here on the computer to make sure you're streaming at 1080, because I film all these at 4K and downgrade them to 1080 for uploading. It looks pretty darn good, but when YouTube drops it down to 480 or even less, they don't look so great. They start getting blocky and looking kind of bad. So depending upon the service that you have and what kind of bit rate you can support, I definitely recommend clicking on that little gear icon and moving that resolution. That's the word I was looking for. Moving that resolution up to 1080. Anyways, moving on, getting back to what we were doing. Jeffrey Osborne here doing Don't You Get So Mad, hit number 25 in August of 1983. And that is marked as the B-side. So once again, I've gotten things backwards here. And the marked A-side, which since it's a memories, it's a reissue, it's probably could be considered a double A-side anyways. They were both hits. But Jeffrey Osborne doing Stay With Me Tonight, hit number 30 in December of 83. So, yeah, I might have got my A and my B side wrong, but they were both A sides at one point. So, that's my defense, and I'm sticking with it. You notice a lot of these generic sleeves, too. He had a lot of generic sleeves in that box. I don't care for these as much because they got that plastic there, and you can't stick your thumb through. When I got a stack of 45s I want to look through, it's real easy to shove your thumb through there and hold the stack and flip through them. But when they got them in these kind of sleeves, kind of stops you from doing that. So, anyways, Ray Parker Jr. here with Let Me Go, hit number 38 in August of 1982. And we see there's some kind of a little stamp there or something. It says some kind of music or something. I don't know what that stamp was, but it's definitely not original to the printing on this label. And the B-side, or the other A-side, because this again is a Flashback Records, and it hit number 4 in April of 82. It does say SA, so this may have been the intended A-side for this reissue. Ray Parker Jr.'s The Other Woman. So let's flip it back over again, and yes, we see SB. So again, I got my sides backwards, and I did the B-side first. But please forgive me, that happens. Hope you have a great day. Join us for part 3, coming soon.